Mr. Peabody. What you reading?
Well, Sherman, I'm reading my book about ancient Greek magic.
Wow, that's a big book.
It is. I was just doing some light reading for our trip today. We are going to ancient Greece.
Ancient Greece? But I thought we already went there, with Penny, remember? We met Agamemnon and Odysseus.
That was just the invasion of Troy. The history of ancient Greece is much more extensive.
Huh, we looked a lot different back then, didn't we?
Yes, well, different animators this time. Regardless, remember what I said about breaking the fourth wall?
Don't do it.
And why don't we do it?
Because no one in our plane of existence knows who we're talking to.
Precisely. So, what do you know about magic, Sherman?
Magic? Oh boy, like casting spells and going to Hogwarts?
That's one type of magic, but magic in ancient Greece was much different. The way they thought about magic then is not the same way we think about it now. One way they perceived magic was through supernatural occurrences, things that we have scientific explanations for today.
Like what?
One of the categories of magic is natural magic, meaning it happens because of nature, not someone that is doing it. An example of this is magnets.
But we know how magnets work now.
We sure do. Our first stop is Homer. He was the poet who wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Hey, who's Diogenes? Are we gonna visit him?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
It looks like we've arrived. Come now, Sherman. Homer.
Mr. Peabody. This must be
Hi,
your son,
Homer.
Sherman.
Can you tell us what you're writing about, Homer?
I'm writing a book about Odysseus and his adventures coming home from Troy.
He was a prominent Greek soldier. Remember, we met him, Sherman.
Right now I'm finishing up a story about Zeus,
The god of lightning and king of all gods.
who struck Odysseus' ship with a lightning bolt because his men killed Helios' cattle
The god of sun.
and did not atone for their actions. It was a crime they shouldn't have committed and were punished because of it.
The lightning could be seen as a natural phenomenon, but it's considered that it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Zeus.
So, Zeus is the reason for lightning?
Well, of course. Who else would have created it?
Homer is one of the most renowned authors of ancient Greece, but he extends the world in his poems. You know where lightning comes from, right, Sherman?
Not Zeus, that's for sure. So some magic is attributed to the gods, even though there might be a different explanation?
Yes, and sometimes the events that were written about never happened at all. The work of God is another thing ancient Greeks considered to be magic.
Magic is a lot more complicated than I thought.
It sure is, Sherman. Homer also wrote many stories with mythical creatures. Homer, could you tell Sherman a little about Cyclopses?
Oh, yes. Cyclopses were giant beasts that roamed the land and only had one eye. They are sons of Poseidon and wildly selfish savages.
We aren't going to see any of those today, are we?
You'll never know.
They don't exist. It's just another example of how he extends the world. Thank you so much for entertaining us today, Homer, but we better be off.
Safe travels. Come back anytime.
Now we are going to visit Pythagoras.
But Pythagoras was a mathematician. We visited him when we learned about triangles. What does he have to do with magic?
It's speculated that he was a magical shaman, but there's a lot of contradictory information about him. We don't really know what is true and what is false.
But we'll find out today, won't we, Mr. Peabody?
We only know what we're told, or what we experience for ourselves. Remember that, Sherman.
Peabody, Sherman, so good to see you, but I'm afraid you've come at a bad time.
Oh dear. Should we come back another time, perhaps?
If you could just wait here for a few minutes. I need to go to the market and the baths, but I'll be back very soon.
Of course. We'll wait here.
But Mr. Peabody, he could be gone for so long. Why don't we just travel in time to see when he's free?
Patience, Sherman. I have a few more things to tell you about Pythagoras, and I doubt he'll be gone for long. Pythagoras was known for doing many magical things. The school we're in right now is where he teaches his followers about his philosophical and religious beliefs. It could be considered a cult.
A cult? Like Scientology?
In a way, yes, but back in ancient Greece, a cult referred to any religious group. There are many modern words that have archaic meanings.
What else was he known for?
He made many predictions that came to fruition, like the appearance of a deceased white bear before the message about it even arrived. He was also known for petting a white eagle and biting a venomous snake to death.
Whoa, he did all that?
So they say. He could tell you many crazy stories about his life, but take them all with a grain of salt.
How did you get back so fast? It's like you're in two places at once.
It is, isn't it? Now, Mr. Peabody, what's the reason for your visit? We're doing a tour of ancient Greek magic. Oh, of course, and you came to me. How thoughtful. There are many things I could teach Sherman if he wants to enroll. Your school is wonderful, Pythagoras, but I think we've learned enough for today. It's almost Sherman's bedtime. Ah, very well. Stop by any time.
We will. Thanks, Pythagoras.
So, Sherman, what did you learn today?
I'm not sure. We saw all different types of magic, but it was just so different. Natural magic is nothing like the magic Pythagoras did, and the magic Pythagoras did was nothing like the magic Homer wrote about.
And that's the point. There are so many different types of magic in ancient Greece, it's not possible to give it a single definition.
Oh, that's incredible.
It sure is, Sherman.